Hello crafty friends, this is the Paper Chef here. In today's die cutting tips and tricks video, I'm going to be sharing how to use these Layering Diorama Dies by Stampin' Up. These are one of my recent additions and I love them, and I'm going to just give you a few tips for using them. So they're called Layering Diorama, and the product number, which I don't have linked yet, I will eventually, 15565. These are kind of like one of those best kept overlooked secrets in the annual catalog, and they need some love because they're pretty cool. So the first thing I'll show you is sort of how to create this little outline layer. Then I'll just show you how to create these super cool little blobs and how to layer them up. And then I'll show you these cards, or the two cards over there. I'll just let them sit there for you. Well, actually, one can't stand up yet because it's not mounted, but I'll let this one sit there for you as inspiration, because every single card you make with these Layering Diorama dies is going to be completely different. I'll show you those in a little more detail and how I created them. I also added some Wink of Stella. And I just thought this paper is perfect for this kind of project. This Layering Diorama dies, because this paper has such great patterns on it, and you can just put these over the part of the paper you want to cut, and it's just so fun. All right, so before I show you this little trick, and it's not going to be a super long video, I want to just let you know what I did in the last video. This is also with the Penguin Playmates Designer Series paper. Let me just turn that over. So these tags I created using the Penguin Playmates, but what the technique I showed in my Ink It Up tutorial on YouTube, let me just fan these out. The technique I showed is how to color Pattern Party Designer Series paper. That was black and white paper in the backgrounds here to create these tags. So color coordination, as you can see, is very important. These were black and white papers, and I colored them to match the Penguin Playmates Designer Series paper. Okay, so if you missed that tutorial, that was a watercoloring sponge dauber technique tutorial. I'll just put those over there, again, for inspiration. I have my camera at an angle because my husband fixed it for me, so it wouldn't droop. But now I have to have it at an angle. But hey, it is what it is. We go with it. We go with the flow here on this channel. I'm always trying new equipment, always, and we just go with it. So I'm going to put my little machine up here. It's not little. It's a heavy-duty machine. I think this machine, this Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, which is in our annual catalog, which is, there's some glue on there, which is $120, is a perfect thing to put in your starter kit, because for $99, you can get a starter kit and you can put products in there for $125, up to $125. So this you'd get for $99 with free shipping, not to mention the free bundle offer. If you want to know more about that, click on the links in the description of this video. So I'm opening up that, and I'm just going to I'm opening up the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. Actually, I may move it off to the side so I can crank it. Oh no, it's okay. I'll just do the left-handed crank. It's all good. It's all good. We're going to put this here. We're going to put plate 1, right? That's the base plate that comes with it. We're going to put plate 2, whenever you have a thin die, you want to always use plate 2. This is the thin dies. So that plate 2 is what used to be known, or as what scissors would call, a thin die adapter. And then you're going to use the cutting plates. So we're going to put the cutting plate 3 down, one of them, and then we're going to do our little sandwich, and then we're going to put another cutting plate 3. Now, my viewers the other day saw me struggling with my painter's tape. You're going to need either painter's tape or sticky notes, because they saw me struggling. I mean, not struggling. I didn't struggle with my painter's tape. It was what I did. Let me just show you what I usually do. And this will still work if, use whatever you have. So you take a piece of painter's tape, and you're going to put it on your clothes. Listen to that sound. You're going to use it as a lint remover. Get some lint on it so it's not as sticky, so it doesn't rip your paper. So you can still use that technique, or apparently they make sticky note tape. I haven't tried that yet. Or just take the top of a sticky note, which we'll do now, because this will definitely not rip your paper. So that's what we'll use to hold the dies together. So those are the little tips and tricks. Use whatever you have, of course. Now these dies come, just to get familiar with them, there's 7 of them, but they're little blobs, and you get like 2 little blobs. I'm going to say this is a pair of blobs, and then this is a pair of blobs. B-L-O-B-S, yes, I'm saying blobs. But this one here has 3, so then I thought, well, that's really cool. You can take these 3, and you could take the middle one out, and you could make a nice little border. So that's the tip and trick I want to show you. And then, of course, I'll show you just how to use those in general. So let's put these over here. Let's take these. We don't need all 3, but I'm just showing you. I used all 3 when I first layered out. Now, you're gonna take your paper, just use whatever scraps of paper you already have. I've already been cutting these apart, so I'm not going to waste. I can get my border. Since I only need a border, let me just kind of give you the picture. Since I only need this, right, that's all I need. I can fit that on this scrap and still have leftover paper down here. So I'm going to just use that scrap. So what we want to do is get the outside one. And I don't need the middle one. I'm just kind of showing you. I mean, I need the middle one. I'm sorry. I don't need the middle one of this. I need this. And take this out. See? There's 3 sizes that are exactly the same. You want to take this one out. I hope that makes sense. If not, please ask a question. Because what I want is a little border. These borders are important for your layering because they give you the extra dimension. And when I show you the 2 cards, I did one where you use sort of indent the scene, and I did another one where you sort of puff up the scene. But Penguin Playmates is perfect for this. I'm just making a little border, and we are using just jade. We're using just jade and the Layering Diorama Dies. Now, I'm going to put another piece of paper under there for a second, but I just want to show you that. Okay, I think that's good. Good enough. Good enough for what I'm showing you. Okay, so now you need a piece of cardstock under there. Why? Because you'll never get this exact method. Like, you want cardstock to reinforce it because, let me show you what I mean. This is, on the back of this, it's very flimsy. You can't stand this up with dimensionals unless you put cardstock behind it. However, I realized kind of the hard way, if you don't cut the cardstock at the same time, you can't go back and try to cut it later because these two pieces are never going to be aligned the exact same way again because you're using a little sticky note to align them. It's not like a regular die where you can go back and cut the extra piece you need later. It's like, this is it. So cut the cardstock at the same time, and then you have that reinforced layer. Okay, go ahead and put that extra topper. That's your extra plate 3, and I'm cranking it through. I am right-handed, but I'm going to crank it through with my left hand. Okay. Voila. See how that sticky note holds them in place, but it doesn't rip. Well, let's not say that until it makes sure it doesn't rip. Here you go. Shouldn't rip your designer series paper. And if it does, that's what embellishments are for, right? That's what embellishments are for. Here we go. Beautiful. Now that is a beautiful card element on its own. Never glue it first. We always glue it afterwards. Okay, the reason is, there's so many reasons, I mean, but let's just say the reason is you don't want to gunk this up with, like, or your dies. You don't want to gunk up your dies with glue, right? You don't want to get glue on your metal dies. Remember the front of my machine when I just started this video and I saw some gunk and now I have to get the Goo Gone out or the magic eraser and try to get the gunk off. So it's same with punches. Even if you want to punch through 2 layers of something, punch them out separately. Or don't put the glue on them and then punch them. So what I'm doing now is I'm adding the multi-purpose. Is it called multi-purpose? Tombow. I think we just call it in our catalog. Multi-purpose liquid adhesive. It's good to use glue on your layers because you can slip them together. I tried to use spray adhesive. I'm going to show you what I tried to use because I thought, I have a lot of these to do. And when I didn't have my glue because it was coming in the mail, this is what I tried to use, right? This stuff works great, by the way. But, however, it's just by Elmer's. It's like super strong. I think it would be good for like fixing shoes or something. I couldn't move anything. After I sprayed it, I couldn't move what I just got done spraying. Did I do this wrong? Let's see. I hope not. Let's see. Here we go. Okay, good. I couldn't move anything because it's like dries like concrete, and immediately dried. And I was not able to do what I'm showing you now with this little chip and trick. I wasn't able to wiggle to get them to be, to get them to be exact. And then therefore what happened is, well, this one didn't do it, but you'll see on my card, there's a little bit of white sticking out because when I stuck this onto the cardstock, a little bit of white stuck out, which is fine. It's fine. Now, the great part about these dies is you don't just have your 7 dies. You have different combinations. So you can, like if you want to do some going that way, and that's fine too. You just die cut and then you turn it over and use the pattern on the other side. So you have like so many combinations of how you can use these dies. And I just started playing with these, and I was like showing them to my team the other day, and that was when I just first played with them. I've had them, and I was like, I haven't been playing with them. So even that could be used for something. But what I was going to say, you might be able to use that for something. But hey, I'm thinking, now this is already done. That's the inner one. And we have a now background for when we want to cut out another piece of designer series paper later. Okay, let me just show you a couple more. Just show you something else about these dies. Let me find, where did they all go? Okay, so let's just take, I'm just going to take any one randomly just to grab some designer series paper here and show you how cool these dies are, because you can just do so much with your cards and not have to worry about. Here, so you could do like this. So you say you want this polar bear pulling. Let me just show you what I want. Say I want this polar bear pulling the sleigh, the whole sleigh. I have a different one, but just see, he's in the sleigh by himself really. But so then you can take the dies and you can say, wow, what dies? It might be that die. So you can do your little experiment. You can say, oh, it's this die. This die gets the polar bear fully pulling the sleigh, right? And you can even get some of the snowman sticking out. So you can, just wiggle it around. Here, maybe, depends on how you want to wiggle it. The little fox can stick up. It depends on if you don't care if his hand's cut off. If you don't care if his hand's cut off, you can get the snowman's hat. Yeah, or something like that. Or you can go one blob bigger and really get the whole scene. See what I'm saying? Here, you can really get the whole scene there. Then you don't have as much. But what I'm saying is that cool? So it looks like you took scissors and you went all around. Here, let's go ahead and cut out the scene. This is a cool little scene here. And of course, I'd put the cardstock behind that too before I cut it, because it just gives me that extra little layer of oomph. All right, so, and if it matters, oh wow, when I use the bigger die, I even get the little fox on the right. I'm loving it. And don't worry if you cut off little pieces. If you do it and you're like tilting it and you cut off little pieces, don't worry, because that's what your embellishments are for. Reuse your sticky tape. Reuse your sticky note tape that we homemade sticky note tape here. We're gonna put that sandwich back together. Remember, sandwich is plate 1 if you came late, plate 2, which is the thin die adapter, 1 plate 3, another plate. Oops. And then there's plate 3. And then another plate. And then, so we're going to run that through. So that's what I thought my favorite part of these dies was not even the layering part. My favorite part was like, wow, I have like instant card embellishments just by cutting out my little blobs, and I get the whole scene I want. Is that fantastic? Get the whole scene. And it looks like you did all this shh. And who could do that with scissors? Not anybody I know. Not anybody I know can cut like that with scissors. You don't have to use even glue in this. The only time you need to use liquid glue is for the border parts, because they have to be slipped. They have to slip together evenly. This part is going to be easier even if you use rolling adhesive. These parts come together really easy. You don't have to like worry about them like slipping apart. So you have all these pieces, and then you do. So what I did to my pieces, let me find my Wink of Stella. I took this and I added it to my little pieces here. I just want to show you how I created my whole cards is what I'm doing right now. Because then when I show you my cards, you go, oh, okay, she did the die cutting, which you just saw me do. She did the Wink of Stella. She did layering. She layered them up. Did some embellishments, and that's how the card is made. It's very easy. These are pretty much the easiest cards. These are even easier than the tags I made yesterday, because it involves no scan and cut. You don't need to cut out the little critters. They're already cut out and centered for you. It just involves a little bit of die cutting. Okay, so you have this really cool scene. And by the way, this paper is free. It's a Sale-A-Bration paper, meaning until September 30th, the paper is free. And the only way you can get it is by spending $50 at my store. You can't just buy this paper. And even after it's done being free, it's not going to go on sale. They never do that. They just, it's free. It's a special. It's a Sale-A-Bration paper. And then you're just going to be able to earn it. So you can earn the paper for free. Okay, so there you go. So now, let's show you my projects. And okay, so I did a few of these other little blobs. And I was like, these are just ones I'm playing around with. See, I did that other one just like I was showing you. And I did them different ways, frontwards, backwards. And here's one that needs cardstock on the back still. It's not strong enough. Here's one I did backwards. I didn't do it backwards on purpose, but the dies, when they went down into the paper, like this was the reverse of the paper, and I thought that came out like better. Like I didn't know, I wasn't trying to center this little penguin on the other side, but he was cool that he came out. So you have different shapes and everything. So you have all these pieces, which is just fantastic, I think, to have all these extra pieces. Like each of these, I'm just going to grab a card base here. Each of these can just be put on a card. I mean, and how cute is that? And you put your little designer series paper around the edge. And you don't even need to layer up your diorama scene. Okay, but I'm going to show you my 2 projects that I did layer up the scene. And then so like these are the backs of my whirly cards, by the way. I don't have cardstock to mount this to right now, so I'm just showing you it like this. So I'm just kind of mounting it. So this is a piece of, just so you know, a piece of Misty Moonlight. And then so this border around here would be an 1/8 of an inch border. That's what I did here, an 1/8 of an inch border, right? And then I layered up the diorama so that the middle part would puff out. Okay, so this is just me experimenting, right? And I puffed up the middle part. See? So these are all, like this one's glued onto the designer series paper, this little border. And then this little blob is just, puffed up with dimensionals. Then the next one's puffed up, the next one's puffed up. So it's a 5-layer. But then this kind of hung off. So when I did my little banner, it hung off the edge. And I had to put a lot of dimensionals back there. See, to pile up the dimensionals to make this not droop down, because it's like 5 layers deep. Okay, I'm not sure. I think it would just cost like 20 more cents in the mail, because it's a extra, a little bit extra, a little bit thick to put through there. Oh, let me say hi to you guys. So I won't be here very long. Gotta say hi to my peeps. Thank you for coming and joining me. Okay, Pamela. Hello, Pamela. Melody. Veronica. Thanks, Veronica. Denise. Hello. Deborah from New South Wales. Bear Claw Flowers from Colorado. Pamela. BP. Oh, Pamela's from Australia. BP from Georgia. I love this. I love when you guys watch all around the world. I try to make these at good times where you can come around from around the world. This is what I'm showing you next, by the way. I'll give you a better look at that while I'm saying hi to you guys. This one is kind of indented, so it's the other way around. Yeah, so Denise calls it the green glue. That was the multi-purpose glue. Hi, Yvonne. Father's Day here in Australia? Oh, there you go. Well, happy Father's Day to the fathers in Australia. We have a different one in America. In June. Pamela. Oh, Pamela said what I said. Yep, ours is in June. It's because it's May is Mother's Day, and then June is the Father's Day in America. Sandy from Fort Worth, Texas. Be pre. Winkastella is magic, as Denise said. Yes. Oh, sorry about your hurricane, Barbara. Oh, that's terrible. I saw some of it on the news, but I'm trying to just process all that's going on in the world. Oh, let's put it that way. Anna, Veronica, hello. Janet. My thoughts and prayers go out to you guys that have been through this hurricane. Barbara, I hope you have power. Pamela's saying, I hope you have power to Barbara. Okay, Crafting with Tracy. Hello, Sandra. Hello, Crafting with Tracy. Hello. My Day is God. Barbara, Sharon, Yvette, and Barbara. Okay, so here we go. So you have a generator. I'm good, Barbara, you have a generator. This one is just the opposite. So I wanted to just kind of show you, this is the opposite kind of card. I did mount this onto just thick white cardstock. So this is when you put this onto this. So this one has a 1/4 inch. So it's 4 by 5 1/4. It has a 1/4 inch around the edges, unlike the other one. You mount it so that this one is flat on the designer series paper. Then you puff up this one with dimensionals. Then you puff up this one with more dimensionals, right? And then you puff up the extra little critters. And the extra little critters are from my bucket of crafty goodness, which we do use the scan and cut for, but you don't have to because the diorama scene is awesome on its own. Okay, and then lastly, I want to mention how I got these little extra pieces, these little extra. Okay, so these are my things I cut out from the scan and cut using this paper, this Penguin Playmates Designer Series paper. I think you got to see a lot of pieces of it. I don't really have a whole pack to show you right now. I have ordered some, but look how cute these pieces are. And then you can cut them out with the scan and cut, and I talked about how. Now you get these little extra pieces here. Just want to show you where I got these from to put on the cards. I stamped the be cool, be chill, be merry. Be cool, be chill, be merry. Be cool, be chill, be merry. Over and over again, I stamped it. And I cut it out using my Give It a Whirl. That's these on the back of here. Give It a Whirl dies. There's these dies that I have, and I've been teaching how to use this on my channel, and we're going to keep continuing this series. Okay, so in these little, that's the way I use them. In those dies, I got these extra here. Let's put this here because I haven't mounted it yet. Put these extra shapes. Put that there so you can look at it. There are these extra shapes you can cut out. So here's what I mean. You can cut out extra little shapes. The rectangles, banners, heart. By the way, yesterday in the tag, I was trying to figure out where I got this from. This little one on my tags that I showed you yesterday, that definitely was from the Give It a Whirl dies. Okay, so that's where I got the circle. All these things. Circles. Well, now they're all buried. I'm going to wear circles, hearts, and all that. So all you need to do for that. Oh, this is from another one. Let me put. Here it is. Penguin Place. Okay, Penguin Place. You take this stamp to the Be Cool, Be Chill, Be Merry, and you take it and you mount it on a stamping block. Okay, following, and you just stamp it onto these stripes. Where are the stripes? I don't know if I have any more paper like that. Slim pickings for my paper here, or stamp it onto anything. It doesn't matter. Just stamp it onto Be Cool, Be Chill, Be Merry, but then each time move it. Be cool, be chill, be merry. Move it over here, move it over here, move it over here. And then put your little die cut on it and you cut it out afterwards. After you put your little sentiments on it, cut it out. And then you have all these extra little pieces to put on your cards and tags. That's where I got this rectangle from. That's where I got the rectangle from. That's where I got this circle from. Okay, so that's what you can also die cut out that. But die cut it last. Stamp and then die cut it last. And then these, lastly, were the little jewels. These were little jewels. They're, oh gosh, I forget the name of the jewels. But these were little sequins I got from one of my Notes of Cheer card kit. So then you could take you could take extra little die cut snowflakes and things, and you can put them around your card, which will be fun, I think. So this is from a gift giving dies. So I'm just saying, there's just so much you can do with these cards. They're super, super easy. I'm about to make lots of these without. Oh, yes, and shaker card. Thank you. Because I definitely need more of that acetate. But here, I was trying to do that too, but it's just the only piece of acetate I have left. And I'm using it for experiment. It's the window sheets. I'm using it right now to experiment with my merry-go-round idea for my Give It a Whirl dies. So, but when I get more of the window sheets, I'll be doing some shaker cards with these Layering Diorama Dies, because you would do this one here. You'd do the shake. You'd hide the shaker window. You can put the shaker underneath here and hide this acetate window. Right? Hide it under here. Okay, so bear claw flowers, you're right on target. So you put this little guy, you cut it out, don't cut out the acetate with these. You're just cutting out this little guy, and you're going to put a bunch of sequins all around him. Then you cut out a hole in this one. And in that hole you put this little window, acetate window. Then you put your little sequins behind there. Then you can still keep layering up all the sides. So you got a cool shaker card. I even thought of Give It a Whirl card. I'm just figuring out where I'd put the whirly thing. Put a little whirly thing over here, under here, and I could do a Give It a Whirl under there. Give It a Whirl meaning here. These are what I'm working on. I was thinking you could put one of these under there. I mean, the sky's the limit. You could put these under in the layering diorama. The other thing I thought about the layering diorama is, besides just flat, besides making these flat scenes, why even make a diorama scene? You just take these little pieces that you have, these little blobs, and I would just think these are great by themselves, and you could put these on little note cards, and you could just take these little pieces, and I see how I put Wink of Stella on it, slap it on a tag, and you're good to go. So you don't really even need to do anything else to these. These are great little card elements on their own. So these are just ideas, and just opening these up and only using it with one set of paper this is already what I came up with, so I'm sure you can come up with many more scenes. I'm sure tranquil Christmas scenes where you put the little cabin or something in there, and then you puff up the sides and you do something with that. Okay, so the sky is the limit. Just go ahead and give these a try. Play around. And I hope you really like these, because these are going to be like a timeless die to keep in your collection. So that's all for now. This is the Paper Chef, and we'll see you again with these dies in the future when I come up with some more projects. Okay, Janet, like she said, Janet said, and I keep forgetting to ask, definitely, if you're new to my channel, please subscribe. And if you like this video, hit the like button. Bye, Robin. Thank you for checking in. Bye.